Hi everybody, Lori here from Unique in the Creek, and today I'm going to go over the wide stripe yellow sunflower kit. So in the kit you get, this particular kit, you get 2 rolls of the wide stripe Deco mesh. You get 1 roll of green metallic mesh. You get a 6.25 inch realistic looking sunflower center. You get this cute little ladybug that we're going to put on the center, a cable mount, and a pipe cleaner. We're going to put the pipe cleaner through the slits in the cable mount, and this is going to go back on the back of the sunflower center. And then you also get a pack of 100 zip ties, 2 clothespins, and some wire cutters. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue this cable mount onto the back of my sunflower center. And there is a little circle or a little round piece that you can see. That's the exact center. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on it. Just like that. Take this sticky part off of your cable mount and just place it in the center. Now we're going to want to push down. You want to make sure that when you push down, you're not using your fingers, because the glue will come bubbling out the sides and the top. But just hold it for a few seconds so it's kind of sinks into the styrofoam, and that's what we got. We are going to use the pipe cleaner to attach our center to the center of the sunflower. And while I have my glue gun on, I am going to glue my little ladybug. So it's on a wire. I'm going to cut the wire. You can cut it off, and then we're just going to put a little bit of glue just on the back of this ladybug, and you can put the ladybug wherever you would like on the center of the flower. Let's just put it just like that. Just hold it for a few seconds. And then we'll put it aside to dry. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to preload our large board. We're going to be using row 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the yellow petals. And we're going to use row 1 for some green petals. We're going to do row 1 last for the green ones, so they don't get all tattered as we're constructing our wreath. Right where there's 1, 2, 3, we're going to be putting a zip tie in every set of holes on row 2. You're going to go down 1 hole, up the other, and do your zip tie up till you hear that clicking sound and it's locked. Another way, so you can do that all the way around, especially if like you're sitting in your recliner or something. Another way you can do it is take your coffee cup or any kind of something to lift your board up off. And we are going to be loading. You want the flat portion of the head of the zip tie to be facing in between the 2 holes, and just go around and put your zip ties in. So you're going to have 16 on row 2, 8 on row 3. So we're not going to be using the shared hole. Okay, so you're going to do 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then all 8 on row 4. And row 5 we'll just do last, so it doesn't get all cluttered looking with zip ties. Flip it over and just do the zip tie up till you hear that clicking sound again. Okay, so you're going to completely load rows 2, 3, and 4 with your zip ties. Okay, once you got that done, we're going to cut our mesh. Okay, so once you've got it loaded, you can put your board to the side. We'll cut our mesh. We are going to be cutting our mesh at 10 inches. The roll is 10 inches by 10 yards. So technically we should be able to do this sunflower wreath with one roll of mesh. Hopefully there's 360 inches in this roll, but if there's not, for this kit we have given you an extra roll. So if you do actually have 360 inches on your roll, then you have enough to make another sunflower. Okay, so we're going to cut, my cutting mat's 36 inches. So I'm going to cut my piece at 30. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to be cutting in between the large or the wide strip here. And I think that's why it's called wide strip mesh. There's a little bit of thicker mesh going vertical there. We're going to cut in between those. You can heat seal. It is recommended to heat seal or wood burn your mesh. However, with this mesh, it doesn't fray like as bad as a poly burlap. So I'm going to just do this sunflower without sealing, because there's a lot of people that don't have a wood burner or a heat sealer and they'll be just cutting it. So I want to show you that the wreath will look just as nice without being heat sealed. Again, if you want to heat seal it, that's totally up to you. I'm just kind of following the line here. Okay, so we're going to cut the whole roll. Alrighty, so once your roll is cut, we're going to make the flower petal. And the flower petal is going to be the same for the whole wreath. So you're going to take your 10 by 10 square, okay? This is curl down like that. We're going to use it curl up so that when you open it, it kind of curls back on itself. We call that curl up. You're going to put your square into a diamond shape. You're going to take the bottom corner and bring it up to about the middle of your piece of mesh. And then you're going to take the top corner and just go right over top, layered over top of the bottom corner. So this is what you have. It's almost like an envelope shape. And then you're going to scrunch or pleat right up the middle. Now you're not going to want to do this on a tablecloth or anything, because you're going to you'll end up gathering up your tablecloth. But this is what you have when you pinch it up the center. Okay, I'm going to flip it over because I don't want this side showing where we've cut. We want this side showing. We're going to flip it up, and when you flip it up, we're just basically making sure that each petal is about the same length. And that looks good to me. You're going to, I'm right-handed, so I grab it with my left hand. And this nub, that's what I call it, a nub, you're going to put it right into the zip tie about a fingertip length, less than a fingertip, into the zip tie, and pull tight. So we'll do that again. So curl up in a diamond shape. Bring the bottom corner approximately to the middle. The top corner just overlapping the bottom corner there. And that's what you have. And then I just hold the center with my left hand, and then I'm going to pinch up till I get to the center, and then I can let go. there's your leaf. Flip it over, flip them up. Make sure they're about the same length. And then you're going to stick it in your zip tie. So you're going to go all and do all of row 2 first. I just got ahead of myself here because the petal is very easy, so I didn't want to waste any time. So curl up, corner, corner, pinch, 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 flip, check to make sure you have about the same lengths, and insert it into the zip tie and pull tight. Now what I'm doing is, this is the cut edge. So this petal I just put in prior to this one. It's the serged edge. I'm just putting it over top so it covers up this cut edge. Just makes it look neater, that's all. And when I do my petals, I always make sure that my serged or finished edge is on the left-hand side of me when I make all my petals. That way when you go to put your petal in, the serged edge will always be on the left of your petal, of your piece that you put in. Okay, once you are done row 2, you're going to go around and cut off all the zip tie tails with your wire nippers. Just bring the nippers right down to the head of the base of the zip tie head and snip. Okay, and now we're going to continue on to row 3 doing the exact same petal. So we're going to do row 3 and row 4 exactly the same, so they're just overlapping on each other. Okay, so once you're done rows 2, 3, and 4, we're going to do row 5. We're going to preload it, just like we did the other ones. We're going to use the 2 holes, the 2 normal holes. So there's 4. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to preload those. And luckily I had exactly enough mesh that I didn't have to open another roll. So I have a whole nother yellow roll to make another flower. Now we will, since we didn't heat seal it, after we're done, we will have to cut off some of there will be some strings, but not too bad if you didn't heat seal. So this mesh is pretty forgiving. Okay, so we are going to put 1 petal into each of those on row 5. Again, about a fingertip. Cut these. And now we're just going to move out these petals, widen them a bit so they're covering up the space here. And again, we want the surged edge petal over the top. Okay, that looks good. So once we're done that, we're going to put our center in. So it should be all nice and dry. Yep. So you can take your center and your 2 pipe cleaners and just go down the center hole. You'll see it on the back, nice and neat. And we're going to go into these 2 holes. Bring the pipe cleaners straight down. Okay. I'm going to give it a twist. A few twists. We're going to cut some of the pipe cleaner off. And stick it back down the hole so that we have nothing to scratch the door. And it's keeping it nice and neat. Okay. Again, like I said, I didn't heat seal it, so there's a few little strings, but all in all, it's pretty good. I do say so myself. So we're going to flip it over, and we're going to put some leaves on it, and put a hanger on it. Okay, so you flip it over. At the top, on row 1, there's 2 holes that are closer together to each other. We're going to put a zip tie down that hole, 1 hole, and back up the other, and zip it a little bit till it locks, and then cut that zip tie tail off for a hanger. Alrighty, now we're going to put some green leaves. I like to do my green leaves in clusters. There is 16 holes on the row 1, so you can put 16 leaves if you want to go all the way around your sunflower. I like to cluster mine with 3 leaves on one side, 3 or 4 leaves on one side and 3 or 4 leaves directly across the other side. This is a 10-inch by 10-yard roll. So we're going to cut it 10 by 10. I'm just going to trim so we have a straight edge here. So I'm going to cut 6 pieces. Now you can cut as many as you want. You can put as many leaves as you want. You have a whole 10-yard roll. Take my sunflower, I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to take a zip tie, and I think I'll use this hole right here, and then I'm going to directly use the hole right across from it over here for the second set of leaves. So I'm just sticking a zip tie from the front to the back and just resting it on the mesh in the board, and I think I'll just do the leaves. You can do the leaves exactly the same as you did the sunflower petals. Flip it over. You can take your clothespin, and I'm going to put 2 petals. Okay, so I'm going to take this and fold it up. I'm going to take this one and fold it up, and I'm going to put both of them nestled in each other. Okay. Now I want this nice side facing the front of the sunflower. So this cut, where the cut edges are, I'm going to flip this over so the cut edges are facing up, and I'm just going to take my zip tie and go around, and I'm going to push these green leaves just under the board and do the zip tie up. There we go. We got some leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4 petals there. And I think I'll do maybe 2 down here and then maybe 2 up here. So a cluster of 3, 2 each petals. Another 2 right down the center. And then I'm going to do some just over on this side, same thing. go. A big, beautiful sunflower. Thanks for watching. Bye.